You are far smarter than you can ever imagine. There is no obstacle that you cannot overcome, no problem that you cannot solve, and no goal that you cannot achieve by applying your mind to your situation. Go on and
is that it? Happy Monday, everybody. Happy. It is 5:30. You see my mug on here. So it must be Real Talk Uncensored time. Tone, I guess, will be on very short. That is so corny, but it's cute. I don't know how to pronounce this, but today I have tzatziki sauce. You know the sauce that come on gyros? Is it tzatziki? That's what you are, and it's spicy and white.
Zeet. That sounds like something poor guys do afterwards. I don't Zeet.
What?
You mean like, tzatziki?
Is it tzatziki?
Yeah, that's what it's pronounced. Tzatziki.
Okay, well,
not Zeet.
Tzatziki. Welcome.
Jesus.
How was your weekend, sir?
It was busy. It was a busy weekend for me. So a lot of college games going on. So and actually some pro games too. But majority of it was college. And I'm sore, but I'm here. So it's motivation. So it's my motivation.
Don't you hate when you sore but you hear? That happens to me all the time. Well, it used to.
Yeah.
It used to.
Why does that sound dirty in some form of fashion?
You would catch that on the beltway.
I'm sore, but I'm here.
You would catch it on the beltway.
So I'm ready for round 3. Yes.
Hi, Tweety. What I want to do is welcome all you Bama ass Virgos. September.
All you beehive boneheads. All right, go ahead.
What? What?
Beehive boneheads.
What are those?
Those are Beyonce's drones.
Oh, of course, because of September. Yeah. That I'll get that on the beltway. I'll catch that later. But how was your weekend, sir? Like, besides you're tired and like NFL wise. Let's just fuck it. Let's just get into NFL wise.
NFL wise,
y'all know y'all was gonna get this NFL talk first. You know you was gonna get it at first. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was watching the 4th week of preseason.
Okay.
That's all I was watching. It's the scores, the mistakes. I mean, let's be honest, but I even heard on the commentary is like most of these guys, this is the first time they are on the field together, in a live game for more than a series. So, and here's Tone.
Hey.
So,
what up, though?
So, in all honesty, I mean, the big surprise was the Packers Saints game. Aaron Rodgers played. I mean, he played like a person didn't want to be there. He looked like a guy he didn't want to be there.
Very obvious.
I mean, it was so obvious, and it's kind of unfortunate that the Packers defense never showed up. I said that prior when Mr. Coleman was here.
Unpack.
Yeah, they did not unpack.
Oh wow, that's funny.
So yeah, and I think the most impressive game, I would say, be honest with you, I would give credit to the Lions, as it looked like they were going to get blown out and everyone tuned out of that game. Yeah. But I saw the highlights of it. They were coming back and fighting. And I felt like, oh, that's a rarity. It's a rarity to see the Lions because they would have bowed down and called it a day. But no, I give them credit for that, for their fighting. So yeah. How was the what the fucks, Tone?
Mr. P1, happy belated birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday too. Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. P1 is tired, y'all. P1 is tired. I'm realizing, pardon me, as I get older, I'm not as young as I used to be, and all that partying and shit starts to catch up to you. When you up to like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and get up and do it over the next day.
You think?
That's just up to us.
You think?
It does.
What about what the fucks? Come on. Add your 47 cents, right? Is it 40?
I don't even know.
47.
I don't even know. At this point, I don't even know. But
did you watch the game?
I watched some football. But football ended up watching me. That's how I told you my old ass was tired.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I got up and my intentions was football Sunday. Let's get it. Motherfucking get all shit set up. I'm turning on the TV. I mean, like, Gigi 5 minutes into the joint, I was out.
Yeah.
I woke up. I was like, oh man, what the fuck? So I hear about old Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I heard about him. It's terrible. It's terrible though, isn't it?
He's benched. That's not.
But does he care though?
You ever had that? Who's ever said that?
What?
Aaron Rodgers is benched.
What up, Lonnie Whitehead?
I mean, mind you, he's been their quarterback for now, good over a decade.
Yeah.
And so, because I remember watching on the Sunday Nighter game, they mentioned the fact, like, you know, the starters that there are now, there's like 25 out of the 32 starters that were drafted and are playing now. But Aaron Rodgers had to wait for like a couple seasons because of Brett Favre,
right?
And his backup, and now Aaron Rodgers' backup has to wait because he's playing. So, and it's like, okay, it's the same thing. So to me, it's like, I mean, Aaron wants to leave. You can tell. It doesn't. There's nothing there for him. I mean, he's got a title. What's more he left to do in Green Bay? He needs a new place.
Mm.
At the end of the day, but wasn't that the story of the offseason too, that he wanted out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been this whole story.
Exactly. This is nothing new here. He wants out. You know what I mean? And
I feel like don't ruin your legacy. Don't ruin your. I never understood it about NFL players and basketball players who will.
I get what you're getting at, Kiki.
Do you?
Don't ruin your legacy or everything that you built because you're unhappy in the situation you're in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least still do the job and then be like, yo, now I'm done. I'm out. I want out. You know
who I'm very disappointed in that is pulling the same set of tricks? Cole Beasley. I'm Mr. Cole Beasley. I love you. I love you and I supported you even when you went over to Buffalo, but I'm disappointed in your antics. I think you should cut the shit, or quit. Just gear up, do your thing, or quit. Like I don't understand it. And maybe that's why I do hair.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell y'all something. The game that really, really had me, and I wasn't even a fan of it. Like I was like, what the fuck? They got the late game for tonight. But that was a great game to me last night.
Okay.
That Bears and
I hate the commentary on
the Rams. Why? Because it was Tony Romo.
No. The Bears and Rams, that was Sunday night, the Sunday nighter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I had the problem with. So during this, they mentioned it like about several times during the game, and they kept saying that the Rams were blowing them out. This was going to be a rout. And it's like, okay, I know you guys are in your 60s and 70s, but last I remembered, it's like that first series, the Bears were going down the field.
Yeah.
And literally was about to score if they didn't had that mishap. Yeah. So to me, it's like the Bears were playing, the Bears were in it. It's just that towards the later part of the game, that's when everything fell apart. So don't give me, maybe I'm just getting sick and tired of, I could tell that Chris Collinsworth
is an asshole. I don't like him.
Yeah. And Al Michaels, I think he's on the out. He's another guy who he's on
this question.
Don't Chris Collinsworth sound like Joe Biden? Doesn't he sound like Joe Biden?
No, not really. Well, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Should it be fair with these older commentators, right? What the fuck? With these older commentators, right? Should you put somebody young with them, break up the monotony? You
You
know what I mean?
You should, but at the same time, you do want the experience. I felt like at first when I heard that Drew Brees was coming into NBC
That was
Sports,
hard.
What? Seeing Drew Brees on the actually he's younger. I noticed the scar that it felt like his old war wound. But I felt like I did see him look at his notes and all that stuff. And mind you, it's his first week, and I think I felt like, of course he seemed like the type of guy to be new
coming
to this.
Fuck back.
Yeah,
just watch.
Yeah,
because he'll be coming back.
No, I don't know. Drew's done.
No, listen, me and you. What you want to do? What you want to do?
Drew Brees is not coming back.
What you want to do?
I don't think he's coming back.
I'm saying he is.
Why would he come back?
Because this seat right here does not suit him. First of all, Drew Brees is a Capricorn. Okay.
Oh Lord.
Oh God. Here we go. Oh God.
Second of all,
somebody mute her mic. Mute her mic.
First of all, he's a Capricorn. Second of all, I could see it. Like it looked good on him to me. He did look like he was a little uncomfortable at the same token, but I feel like he's gonna pull a move that a lot of these other ones pulled and just realize it ain't for them.
Okay, so Kiki, the first time you went to go work in the hospital, did you feel uncomfortable? Did you feel uncomfortable?
No. Now what? No.
Really? Everybody feels uncomfortable the first time they do shit. You gotta let them get a rhythm. This is something brand new for him. Give the man a shot. I think he's gonna be great. That's my opinion.
He's gonna be great. I just think he's gonna return though, because I feel like he was doing that more than he was doing this. And some of the people who he went out on top, he was great and all that. Just watch. I don't care. Just watch.
All right. So
if he goes back on the field, it'll be a coach, not as a player.
Okay.
But I think he's, like I said, that was his first week. Give it some time. I think he'll improve. He'll be coached up. But all honesty, I think he'll benefit being as more of a booth commentator than being a studio one.
Yes. I don't want you to think that I'm grading his performance, because I'm not. I couldn't do it. Like anybody who gets up there and can do that, and I'm not grading his performance. I just think that I don't think that that's a fit for him. Like it just, to me, I think that he's the action type of person, and it would not surprise me if he did whatever position he took, coach, whatever. I don't think that he's gonna sit in that booth long.
Right.
Okay.
Kiki opinion.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this. I love football. I do.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as this pains me to say,
you don't give a fuck.
The Cowboys played a good game.
Wait a minute. Could you repeat that? Could you?
Oh my God. Oh my.
I'm gonna say it because I'm a fan of football. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of football, and and this season, I'm gonna give props where props was due.
Thank you.
I still don't like them motherfuckers, but everybody thought Dak was gonna be like out of shape. He was gonna be fucked up, and you have to look at the game. He played a hell of a game.
Thank you.
I got to give props where props do. You know what I mean?
Ladies, I never.
CB, what the fuck is the little skinny black dude? Oh my God, I can't even get his name out.
CD Lamb.
He was everywhere. He was everywhere. You know what I mean? Him and Dak have great chemistry. It was a good game. I wasn't impressed with Ezekiel Elliott because I don't feel like,
I like this hair.
I didn't feel he was impressive. I didn't feel like, you're supposed to be that premier back. You didn't show me premier back. You know what I mean? Dak comes back from 11 months ago from being fucked up and got out there and played like he never missed a beat. I got to give the props what props would do. You know what I mean? Your kicker lost y'all that game. That's just what it is.
You know what? And I said that he had to Uber home because you can't sit with us. You can't. There's no way after that bullshit you can come and sit with us. Ain't no way.
You know.
And they tried.
You fought fire in the end. You started getting your shit together in the end. But if you was watching, the reporter was interviewing him, and he was like, he wasn't even confident in his own self. Yo, that's not a good sign when your kicker is not confident, and it showed when he got on the field. You know what I mean? And if you look at those field goals he missed, y'all win the game.
Yes. Did you see my love letter to Dan Bailey? I sent Dan Bailey a love letter.
Yeah. So, I'm giving props. It's not that I like your fucking team, but I'm gonna give props what props will do. If you played a good football game, I'm gonna give you that as a good football game. You know.
Hey Tone, I gotta tell you something. And when I
What up?
say it, it's between me and you though.
What up?
So after I said you can't repeat that I said this.
All right.
They actually tried to help us win this game. Like they tried to give us this game. They tried. Our kicker just had another agenda.
I'm telling you. Tom Brady and them came out looking rusted, looking older, another year older.
Yeah.
But on the same token, it's still Tom Brady. The dude, you got to give it. I'm gonna give Tom Brady his props. He's still like motherfucker's 44. He's 44, and look at the level of football he's playing.
Him and Gronk was like hand in glove.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get on this Brady fest,
But it's okay. Come on.
let's keep it really 100.
Okay.
Dallas, like you said, I agree to fact. Dallas could have won with, if they made those extra point and that field goal.
Nomi said he was on the take.
Yeah. And also the fact that I think that, again, it's this, both teams are a year older, but Dak is coming back. He looked more impressive than Tom Brady did. But let's keep it. I felt like because Dak had more to prove for everybody than Tom Brady did. So again, any defensive coordinator out there, stop putting that dumbass prevent defense because it doesn't help. And it never ever works because that's what they were doing during that last 80 seconds. Mm-hmm. And there was moments where Dallas could have stopped them during that last drive, but again. Oh, and the other thing, at some point in time, there needs to be instant replay allow for calls that are missed.
Yeah.
That fucking push off.
Yes.
I don't care what that was. Yeah. That was a push off. Everybody saw it. Even old Al Michaels and bitter Chris Biden, Collinsworth saw that it was a push off, and that dumb whatever old former official pundit said, "Well, they're not really good, dude." It was a push off. Call it what it is. That if they called that would this Buccaneers would have lost.
Let me tell you something. What I need you guys to do is just to put in your pocket. If you record this game, just notice that team of officials. Every single time they coach us, I am not confident. Every single time that team of officials, I don't fuck with them.
Well, the other thing is that a lot of people have been stating the fact is, look, when are you going to call offensive interference?
When?
Because it is like, oh, they rarely call it. Of course they rarely call it because the NFL is programmed to promote offense, they promote touchdowns and all stuff. It's just like in baseball back when during the quote unquote steroid era, it's like, hey, home runs, you got to the chicks love the home runs. This is the exact same thing. To me, that was a push off. You should have called an offensive penalty and you didn't. And that's where I think a lot of people are going to continue to complain the fact that there needs some balance somewhere. If you're going to call an offensive penalty, call it.
And Des caught it.
Yes.
just so we clear.
Yes.
Well,
another team that I want to say.
What?
Did you look at Philly? Did you look at Philly?
The Sheagles.
The number one team in the NFC least.
If you looked at Philly.
Yes.
Philly looked good against a weak Atlanta team. And people are giving them their props. They look good against a weak Atlanta team.
Hey, shut up, Nomi. They did.
That weren't set up. Atlanta team is not set up for that. They're not set up for that. There was a weak team. So, when y'all calm down, Philly, calm down. Don't get all hyper just yet. You know what I mean? Good game, y'all won. But y'all beat up on a bullshit team that's in rebuild mode.
It's too late. That's them. The numbers, the score is what got them. It's too late. You should. It's too late. They're not
beat up on a team that was much weaker than you. Okay, cool. But let's see if you carry that momentum. And Hurts looked nice. He did look nice. You know what I mean? But you have a quarterback like that, somebody's going to ring his bell.
You're right.
And when that bell gets rung, that's most of them quarterbacks that play like that don't last long. It's like that. They don't last long. So, you know what I mean? It's all fun now for the ride you know what I mean? But calm down. It was a weak team. You know what I mean? Y'all played a good game, but let's see when you get a better caliber, you go against a better caliber team. You know what I mean? Was I disappointed in my team? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Well, now you got your backup, who was your starter in your last playoff game, to be starting next week
against New York. That's going to be a great game, by the way. You have to know. I like Chase Young. I like Chase Young. I just do.
I think I'm being very humble with my team this year. All that shit that you talking about, I don't want to hear none of that shit. You know what I mean? I maybe 8-8, 9-7.
Oh, you mean 8-9 and 9?
It can't be 8-9. It can't be
games now.
Oh shit, that's right.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm being optimistic here. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not saying we're doing nothing special. I got to see, because all this talk, I got to see what you're gonna do. You know.
Well, I just want you to know, I right now have my sights on Matt Stafford. I really do. I appreciated his performance.
Make sure the correct wife is coming after.
The one in the yellow. It was the one in the yellow. It wasn't the one with the black.
Okay.
That was funny. It's like, no, I don't want to get it. You know, if they look back into this video, we showed the wrong woman.
I liked how both of those teams got busy last night. I liked it. And I just I appreciate the Browns. I appreciate them.
I don't, because they fuck themselves.
I know.
Because now they're gonna come into Baltimore and Patrick's gonna go crazy again. It's like shit. We already got issues with our running core, damn it. We don't need this damn drama. Damn it. Cleveland, all you had to do was beat a team. You had a 10-point lead. It's all you had to do, and going late in the game, and you fucked that up. That's Cleveland.
That's what I'm gonna say. That's Cleveland.
Bro, like what the
Cleveland? Jeez, no wonder they can't win shit. Cleveland.
Okay, well, can we highlight Mr. Mahomes? His performance? Can we highlight that?
No, because Cleveland gave it to him.
Right?
Let's keep it real. Let's fully be honest.
I gotta agree with one there.
Patrick Mahomes is an ultimate decent talent. He's on my fantasy team. I give him credit for all that. But at the same time, when you have an opportunity to just keep him cold and you don't do it, that's a problem.
It's a problem.
The Buccaneers, I said this to people last time. Look at the last two Super Bowls that the Chiefs were in.
The Chiefs, yep.
Patrick was horrible in both of them. And the only difference was the Niners let him loose.
Yep.
The Buccaneers didn't.
Yep.
That's what happened in this game. The Browns had him, and then for some odd reason figured it's like, oh, we'll coast this. We're winning. Nope.
But everyone knows that.
Are you trying to expose Patrick Mahomes now? Are you exposing him, white man?
Uh-oh.
I've been exposing him for the last 2.5 years. Dude is like I said, he's an exceptional talent. But you look at those games, those Super Bowl games, and honestly, it's like if he's as everyone say he's a magical man. It's like, dude, he's scrambling a lot, he's flinging it and lucking out to the fact it's like, mind you, there was the highlight where Hills got that touchdown pass. The defender for the Browns ran right past him. And the ball, he was able to just stand there and catch it. If he was able to sort of like still be paced with Hill, he would have deflected it or got the interception himself.
You are reaching.
He is absolutely.
You are nitpicking. And
it's not nitpicking.
Look at the
highlights. What? Look at those highlights.
Because he's the best flinger. You name
Look at those highlights.
Are you knocking his flings? Are you saying that's not a good thing? Like he's dope at flinging.
He's lucking out. Trust and believe. Trust. So ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not. Look at Super Bowl 54.
Okay.
Look at the last Super Bowl. All those highlights, because you don't want to go through the rigmarole of the game.
Yeah.
Unless you want to see the Shakira and J-Lo performance in 54, which is great.
Yeah.
And then this highlight. Look how he plays, and at the same time, to the fact of where it's like, okay, how could this team? 2 out of the 3 teams that were there could not beat him.
I accept your homework because I have those on record. I accept your homework. I'm gonna go and look at it, and we're gonna have this conversation again.
Yeah, by next week the Ravens will do the exact same thing the Browns did because somehow we can't contain his shit. I don't know how we were able to beat him, but we can't.
This is where this is. Now you see where this is coming from, right? Now you see where the heat.
Because we've been facing the Chiefs for the last 3 seasons against this dude, and we can't beat his ass. I don't know how.
Okay, so it would not go over well if I did not mention Steelers. It would not go over well within my friend group.
Bills gave them.
They were next up on my agenda.
Because Nomi would not let me live that shit down. She put it in all our groups. How about that Steelers come back? Da, 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 da. And I said today.
Bills gave them that game. That game that game proved my point of how this was a week 4 preseason than a for week 1 NFL's regular season.
I'm on it. I'm on it because of that.
So I'm gonna say the Bills let that shit slide. Mm-hmm. Okay, moving right along. You know what I mean? Let's hold on. Let's put the spotlight on motherfucking white man. How you feel against how you feel against them Raiders tonight?
Well, our running back Lamar Jackson, I think he'll be doing okay. The quarterback Lamar Jackson will do fairly.
Yes.
I mean, when you have to pick up guys off the waiver wire, out of the giant supermarket,
Damn.
off the alley of Westminster Abbey. It is going to be surprising to see how this team does. But let's put it this way: since 1996, the monarch of play like a Raven and the next man up has always been the mainstay statement of that team. And I feel like, when we lost JK, Gus was ready. Okay. And then when Gus went down, which was the big surprise, I thought, we had Hill coming up to take over. And then I find out he was hurt. So I was like, oh, Jesus, who's next? And then it's like, wait, we got a rookie? Oh, shit. So when you lose, it's a rarity to lose your top 3 backs, starting backs, in an entire season makes no sense. And I felt like we were in scramble mode, and there was a video of John Harbaugh because the Ravens do this wired thing, just like NFL does their voices or whatever, and him talking with Lamar Jackson and Levine Sr., and they were saying you can tell in his face and his demeanor, he was disgusted. He was like hurt. He felt like someone beat him up, and it's like he didn't know what to do. And after JK went down, and even though the guys told him, it's like, hey, this could happen in practice. This could happen whenever. And it's just like, yeah, you're right, but still, I ain't feeling this. And then thinking of the fact, a couple days later, this happens and lose Marcus Peters, and all that stuff. So you're like, oh, sweet Jesus, we're starting the season like, on the IR. Pretty much, if you were able to put an entire team on the IR, that would be the Ravens.
Yes. Jay Blood said, "White man, are you saying the Ravens will not win tonight?"
What I'm saying is this: my Ravens will fight. Unlike any other team in this world, every bad season since 1996, even a good season or a bad season, we have fought, and that's what this team will do. And with John Harbaugh coaching this team, he will coach this team up like he did 2 years ago to be the coach of the year. That he needs to get that yes coach of the year inspiration and put in there. Blah, blah, blah. Thing is, yes. Those goddamn Raiders.
All righty then.
Nomi had a question. She said, did they activate Le'Veon? Can you tell Nomi what Le'Veon Bell is, please? Can someone tell Nomi?
As of right now, let's see, checking my fantasy because I do have Le'Veon Bell in my fantasy.
Tone, do you know what Le'Veon Bell? Can someone tell Nomi what Le'Veon Bell?
Please, white man, by all means, go ahead because white man has him in his fantasy.
Come on, Tzatziki sauce.
What?
Yes, you know that white sauce that's on the gyro.
She called me. Yeah, it felt like it was like the post, sexual spurt that guys do in porn. So as of right now, he is a game time decision. So he has not been fully active.
Somebody asked was like, and they made a statement. It wasn't. It was a statement.
Okay.
If Harbaugh doesn't perform this season, he will be on a hot seat. I think his time will come to be on a hot seat. How do you feel about that, white man?
No. If he's going to be on a hot seat, if he's not going to be on a hot seat, if he's going to be on a hot seat, Mike Tomlin's going to be on a hot seat.
Damn, is that what you?
Man, that was some gold.
Let's keep it 100 here. Both those guys only won one Super Bowl. They have been in the playoffs a lot, but the thing is the fact that it's like they were on the same. They've been on this organization for over a decade. So if you're going to claim that John Harbaugh is going to be on a hot seat, same with Tomlin.
Norman said, "Watch your
mouth."
mouth.
Real personal, like,
you enjoy your tight ends and all that stuff. I'm saying what I'm saying.
Oh,
so one's going to be on a hot seat, so is the other.
Damn.
Okay. Well, we gonna see.
Well, he make it. It sounds ugly, but I can see where you go with it.
Because Cleveland, let's say this: Cleveland and Cincinnati, they got new quarterbacks, new off coaches, new all that stuff. But you got two guys who's been there for total over like about almost 30 years total.
Okay.
And again, they've only been to one Super Bowl and only one Super Bowl. So let's be fully honest. It's like if you going to put one on the hot seat, so will the other.
But we were talking about the Ravens though, man. And you see how he did that though. If John Harbaugh got to go, you got to get rid of Thompson too. He got to go too.
He dragging people down with him.
Yeah. Pittsburgh and Baltimore will go intertwined forever. It's like if one goes down, so will the other.
All right, so y'all hear that, right? So if they fire John Harbaugh, know that Tomlin, you're gonna be out of job too, Slim.
I see.
Nobody don't want to hear that shit though.
Nobody don't want to hear that. They probably
of course she don't want to hear it because she don't want to know the truth. Because she said there a couple weeks ago that they should get rid of Ben.
Yeah.
Haven't.
Yeah.
They keep drafting tight ends for some dumb reason. Even though they got a good, decent defense, but let's be honest, their offensive line is almost disappearing. Yeah. So let's keep it 100.
But they pull magic off their ass like no other team I've ever seen.
That's because they have they as long as they believe in whatever they're believing, that's fine. But let's be honest, it's like that
Tebow spirit.
Yeah, it's that team does not. You can look at it compared to last year when they started 11-0, and he figured it's like, how are you getting away with this? And it's just like, I was seeing those two Raven games expose that.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that they really don't have what they think they have.
And before you used to could blame their division at a long time ago because it was shitty.
No, because I think their main competition was Baltimore. It was just them and Baltimore.
That's it.
Cleveland finally last season. Cleveland finally woke up. It became a 3-team division instead of just 2. And
he been throwing jabs left and right. Yeah, you are jabbing today.
I'm telling you,
Ezekiel.
I'm sitting here looking around like, damn, he's just shooting them jabs out there. It ain't real quick and sharp too. You know what I mean? Look,
I'm just speaking the truth. Let's be. I mean, we all watch the same games as we did. I'm not blinded by eyes. I mean, if my Ravens suck like shit, I will tell you why they suck like shit.
Well, we should.
All right, so in the middle of the season, when we get about close to the halfway point, let's revisit this conversation. I want to see what your opinion will be then. You know what I mean? Well, because I get you a Raven, but if your coach isn't performing, do you want to see new blood in that seat? Do you want to see somebody else come in or get a chance that can possibly take your team back to that promised land? Or do you want to stick with the coach you have?
And just work around it. Work through it. Love them through it.
As of what? As of now, or
no? He said
later. Later, I'll get
the season. Later on during the season, I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about somewhere in the middle of the season. And we can revisit. Let's revisit this conversation and see if is that an option to explore.
Okay.
You know,
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
by
fair.
let's say so basically around
9.
or first week of November, I will
Yeah.
give you first week of November. I will give you if
Let's
just like
revisit that
everybody's
then.
been saying for the last 5 years, fire hardball or whatever. But
It's set and it's done.
Yeah.
Now, Nomi, that same conversation is going to go for you, Nomi.
yes,
Same conversation is going to go for you, Nomi. I want to see you in the middle of the season. Are you still feeling still confident with your coach? Or do you think maybe a coaching change should happen?
I like that tone.
Let's look at that and see. You know what I mean?
No,
Because I'm not confident with my coach.
First
What the
week of
fuck? I'm not confident with that motherfucker. Now, no, this is bullshit. Later for that, though.
Later for that.
Positive shit today.
Matt. Tone.
Yes.
Tzatziki sauce.
Uh-oh.
I have questions.
Oh, shit, you got questions?
Yes.
Okay, so what's up? We got questions? We got questions. All right, what up? What's the question?
This weekend, somebody happened to send me a video of a woman proposing to a man.
Oh, I think I saw a clip of that.
She got down on her knee. She asked the dude to marry him, and he blushingly,
like a schoolgirl,
like a school chick,
Schoolgirl?
stuck his hand out and accepted it. Is anything wrong with that in you guys' eyes? And ladies and gentlemen, you feel free to chime in and feel free to call us 301-232-5700. Please feel free to call us and give us your opinion. Tone, you up?
All right, so shit. Okay, so I'm looking at both sides of the spectrum here. I'm looking at both sides of the table. You know what I mean? Women want the rights like a man. They want to be able to do all the shit that men can do. So see a woman propose, but I'm not gonna stand there blushingly with my hand out as she. No, nigga. No. So now for me, I'm old school. I'm not. The woman can't propose to me, and I feel like that in that scenario, you became the woman of the relationship, and she's the dude. She is the man. Because in some regard, that is the man's position, his job. He gets down, he proposes, he does it right. And I get it, we're in a new age, and we have to have a new mindset today. And we have to look at things from the other side of the table. Okay, cool. But that's traditional shit, though. That's what a man's job. And for a woman, and now this woman got down and she did all the shit at your job. That just goes to show what kind of nigga you are. Maybe her clock was ticking. Maybe she was like, yo, this nigga's never going to ask me. Let me go ahead and ask him myself. Do I agree with that shit? Nah, I'm old school. You know what I mean? But, bruh, you are the chick of the relationship. Because we're going to have that conversation another day. I got a question. Well, maybe later on we'll talk about some other shit. Later for that, we'll get to that. But right now, that's a motherfucking that is a man's job, Kiki. I can't co-sign that. I can't co-sign that. You know what I mean? And why did you have to put the blushingly in there? Like,
it looked blushingly.
If my wife thought to get down on her knee to ask me to marry her, I'd have walked. I'd have been in a relationship. I'm done. Gone. Fuck you.
If she had asked you to marry her, and listen, hear me out. And because tradition is being reversed or is being changed or is being altered, would your last name have been Martin?
If she proposes to him, if she proposed like this chick proposed to him, he doesn't get to give her. He has to take her last name because he's the chick. He's the chick. So now you taking your husband's last name because she did the man shit. I know white man is probably sitting over there like shaking his head. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I get it. It's some certain things are traditional, and at this stage, if she did that, you know what I mean, he becomes Mrs. Such and Such, and she becomes Mr. What's his name? Yeah. His name is Mrs. Whatchamacallit, and her name is Mr. Whatchamacallit because she did the man's job. Period. Kiki, I don't know. That's all I got to say about that sucker shit.
I'm going to go last.
Thank you, George. Thank you.
Oh, he found it? Did you find it?
I think I did.
Hold on. I think he found it. He's going to let tzatziki sauce.
Let me see here.
It's the zeet fly.
He said, how long is she going to sell? This chick is not going to have. Okay, I got to see this shit. I got to see this shit.
I think this is it. I am not sure.
Is she Caucasian? She's light skinned.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's the right one, but
It's
I saw
another
one.
it's a black one. It's a dark skinned guy,
Uh,
and the girl is. I think she wants his job or some shit. Like, don't do that.
Okay, so this is becoming a thing now because
I mean,
like, I'm looking at some of these comments.
So let's put it. I'm going to say this. I've said it before and say it again. Traditions. When it comes to standard traditions like this, I think in this day and age, it meant to be broken. I think a lot of women are in a position to where they feel comfortable enough to say, this is what I want. I want you. And instead of, because let's be honest here, a lot of women, I believe, are they feel like it's like they're tired of waiting. I know you're not that woman, but I think, but mostly someone like the video we saw or the one that you mentioned, I feel like they are ready to settle down with the person that they feel comfortable enough with to be the husband, to be that father of her children and things of that nature. It's like, this is what I want. And I think as what Tone will probably say is like, the guy being the girl of this aspect, for some reason, I really think it's like the guy is still in that state of like, do I really want this chick? I thought we're still hanging, so cool, and all that stuff. Again, I think it's enforcing the responsibility that this relationship needs to go to the next level. If you guys, and if that person, either one, feels like, hey, we need to really enforce of going to that next level, something like this, I have no problem with it. And especially if the woman initiates it, because of the fact that this is what she wants. And it's like, I want to get married. I want to marry you. If you're not going to do it, then I'm going to do this. And we're going to flip the script. And it's like, all right, cool. So it takes the pressure off of the guy. Let's put it that way, because it's like, yeah, if you think about it, like, especially that one video, it's just like, whoa, this came out of left field. Okay. Because mind you, it's like thinking the fact of how to do this, how to plan it, all that stuff. That woman did it. So it's like, instead of for him to do it. But yes, Miss Kiki, I know you're itching.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead, Kiki. I'll let you get it.
It's the goosebumps.
It's the goosebumps. I got questions.
I got questions too, Kiki. Go ahead.
And I got on my armor, so bring it. I don't care. Bring it. Is there a type of man that would allow this to happen?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Beta.
Okay. I didn't have no question, no answer in mind.
I know white man hates that terminology, but a beta would let that happen.
Why?
Because you're a weaker man. Okay, at the beginning.
You a weak man? How can you be a weak man for accepting a proposal? I don't understand that.
But hold on, because that's your job. You know if you want to be with this woman or not, and besides, you're in a relationship with this woman, so clearly you having conversations. Y'all are conversing with each other. Or my old favorite word, y'all are conversating with each other. So these are talks that, so this isn't just something that happened. She would just randomly jump down on one knee and propose. These were talks. And clearly, as a beta man, like you said, part of what you said was maybe right. He was like, I'm not 100% sure. But you should have communicated that to her before it got to that point. Because she's going to start to show signs, I'm ready to get married. This is what I want.
Okay.
That's not what you want to walk away, but now you're looking like a whole bitch because she got down on one knee, and that's a man's job. It's always been, it will always be, unless it was two women, then that's acceptable. Or if it was just two men, okay, cool. But in that regard, a man is always proposed to the woman, not the man. And she's never going to respect him in the long run. She's going to treat him like a bitch. She's going to realize that she's the man in the relationship, and he's not. And she's going to carry him just as if.
Hey, Tone, because just like you said, I want to piggyback on what you said and agree with you. If in the relationship you've uttered those words, look now, we done been together 5 years, or someone has said something and reiterated the fact that they want to get married, white man. It is not. I mean, I'm not saying it never happens, that it's a surprise that you don't know that someone wants to marry you or you just spring it on someone. But most of the time, men know when women want to be married to them. They do know, and they're waiting. And to me, you're tired of waiting. There's a desperation in that to me. If I'm tired of waiting for the man and I go and I bring it, and I'm tired of waiting and I move ahead and I buy him a ring and I do all this other shit and I go, so does she got to buy both rings?
I think they'll work it out after.
Okay, really?
Okay. I'm going along the way. And I think that there's a what is it? A push. I push you into. You got to say yeah, like someone Tweety said on here. The guy looked like he didn't want to say yes, but he said yes because why? It's pushing.
She didn't want to crack her face in front of everybody, so it wasn't real.
Okay, okay. One, there have been plenty of proposals, especially something big as that, where the guy proposes to a woman, and I remember one in particular. Guy proposes to his girl at a mall. She said no and killed him. Joe
Budden proposed to her, and she said no.
Yeah. So again,
that's what I'm saying. So if you want to say no, you can. To me, I think that if the man, it's the type of man that says yes to some shit like this.
She wears the pants. She is the man of the relationship.
You're thinking again. I
didn't say what type.
I know.
Okay.
He'll say the beta. Greek alphabet all the time. The thing is, the way I see it is, if you want to go to the Greek alphabet, this is more or less say a gamma man, a person who's
gamma man.
Yeah, he's able to understand the fact that, look, I'm going to be strong in one areas, I'm going to be sensitive in others. The strong part is like, I'm still a man. I'm still able to handle what needs to be handled, and especially in the relationship, what needs to be handled within this relationship that you want to marry me for. So, mind you, he may seem like a quote unquote beta man because, he allowed the woman to go and bend the knee and propose to him. But the thing is like, you think about it, it's like in this day and age, it's like, if they had that conversation of getting married, then that means it's like
wanting a marriage
yes. Let's go that way. Then it wouldn't even matter who asked who.
You're tripping.
I'm not tripping. In this day and age, keep in mind, this is the 21st century. Things have changed. So where it's like, look, if you were fiending after whomever you were fiending after, you were dating him for, let's say, a good 3+ years. You had the conversation of marriage. You went to the rings and looked at certain things and of that nature. Mind you, are you still thinking traditionally figured it's like, when is he going to pop the question? Even though you've already had the discussion, you feel confident enough to like, you know what? I'm going to slip in this curveball. I'm going to go bend the knee for it. Just because it's like, I love this man, and he loves you, and he wouldn't mind allowing this to happen.
Good question. Okay, so is it Kokoron? I can't spell Mr. Smith.
Karan. I call him Karan.
Karan. I'm going to say this because it's a very good question he asked. He said, so did she have to ask his parents for his hand in marriage?
I'm sure.
That's $1 million question. That is a very valid question. Thank you, brother.
Again, if you're talking about, this modern day era of how, if you're still trying to throw in traditional aspects of this, hey, meaning the parents got to ask permission and all that stuff. If that happened, they probably did. But then again, it's like, you've already met the parents. You're cool with the parents.
At the end of the day, if my son's girlfriend came to me and asked for his hand in marriage, I'm gonna be no good. I'm gonna run both of their asses up out of here.
But listen,
I'm gonna run my son out of here because he'll probably never speak to me for it'll be a long time. Because what the fuck? What the fuck?
Is it safe to say that because they're twisting tradition, that fuck no, they ain't asked the parents for shit? No, because that's traditional. That's traditional. Fuck no, they didn't ask the parents.
So, okay, I can go with that, Kiki. Because
I'm gonna say there is a flattering piece for a woman to be asked to be someone's wife. There's a flattering piece for you to have tricked or talked or sucked your way into a man asking, like, whatever it is that you did to convince this person that he wants to spend the rest of his life with you. There's a flattering collar popping moment involved. I think that women asking men to marry them is a TikTok flex. It's a challenge. It's a flex for TikTok.
No.
It's just a fad. It's a fad.
No,
Yes,
no. It's
Why not?
no. Walking on crates, milk crates. That's
Same
a
thing,
that's
same
a challenge.
thing,
That's a
same
challenge.
thing.
That's a fad.
Same thing.
No, it's
If you
not the same thing. It's not.
If
It's
you
not.
can type it in Google and pull some shit up. You can go on YouTube and pull some shit up. If you can go and there's a gazillion and 5 million things under this topic, it's a TikTok flex. I don't care what you say.
Well, again, based off, it depends on if you know the couple and all that stuff. If you don't know the couple, yeah, I can agree with you on that in some way or form. But let's be honest, there are people out there who are willing to, mind you, they probably start off with this, meaning have the woman propose to the dude, and then probably like a couple days later, he flipped the script.
So let me ask you a question. Can I ask another question?
Fucking press.
Hold on. Can I ask another question? I got a question.
You hear me, Tone?
What
The
up?
next thing after this is that he'll end up at the VMAs in a purple dress.
Yes. Yes.
Just saying.
Don't get me started. But hold on, I got a question. So who the fuck is going to give him away? Because she's going to be standing at the altar waiting for him while he walk his silly ass down the aisle. Who going to give him away? His daddy? Him daddy going to give him away? Or him mama? Which one? Which one? If you want to break it down like that, this dude was he's all the way a chump of what he did. I wouldn't do it. You made yourself look bad. If you was my homie and I found out your girl proposed to you like that, nigga, what the fuck? Besides, as a homie, I'm going to know the real deal if you're going to marry this chick or not. If this chick's somebody, you're serious about this chick. But if she beats you to the punch, like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, nah, nigga, nah. You know what I mean?
And pregnant.
Oh! He going to take his cookies on the motherfucking wedding night. Fuck out of here.
Baby, oh!
Get out of here.
Birth out of boogie. So.
If anyone has anything to add to this over the phone, please feel free. 301-232-5700.
Call us up. But yeah.
Yeah, call us.
Ron, you're right.
Oh, my
traditional. It is traditional. It is a traditional thing. And marriage is traditional. It's sacred. You know what I mean? So, like, yo, there's certain shit you do.
Hold on. Back up. Proposing is not sacred.
It is sacred.
It is not sacred.
You're asking this woman to spend the rest of your life with you. You know what I mean? That's a different kind of love right there. You know what I mean? That's a different kind of love right there. Now, is everybody serious about it? Is everybody serious about it? No. Does everybody do it right? No. But it's sacred to me, goddammit.
Well, okay, so what?
I got down on my knee and was struggling to get the fuck back up.
Okay, let me ask you this. Besides the guy proposing to the woman, what is the good way of proposing to someone? In your eyes?
It depends. You know what I mean? Hold on, I'm just sharing the number. Me and King, you both sharing the number at the same time. I did mine. I guess the way I did mine was not considered. Well, it was still traditional because I got down on one knee and I spoke from the heart when I did it. You know what I mean? Did I do it in a manner that you see on these old movies where niggas took his wife to dinner and got down? Nah, I didn't do that. Motherfucker, we was at a winery drinking wine. And I caught her ass off guard. She didn't expect the shit.
That's what's up. And that's what women, because I'm a woman. I'm a woman.
You're plural, okay.
I'm a woman. We take pride in that. That is an ultimate flex to have. You have convinced this man that he wants to give you his last name, that he wants you to bear his children. He wants to spend the rest of his life with you. He wants to be your protector. He wants to forever cover you. That is a flex. I think that if a woman, now listen, we're going to get down to specifics now. If a woman does that, do we now, we just did it for the sake that I need to ask you, and then we go back to being traditional? Or do I cover you? Do I cover him? Do I protect him? Does he take my last name? And you looking at me crazy. You're looking at me crazy. But these questions are very valid.
They're valid questions. And keep in mind, there have been conversations. And I believe that if you think about it, there, if I remember correctly, Zoe Sandala, her husband wanted to take
Who?
her.
Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I remember that her husband wanted to take her last name. And and because of the fact of, mind you, she's the breadwinner.
Of course.
So and everything.
He had a plan.
So, true.
He was mistakenly fall off the block.
Woman.
Yeah, but and she's he take care of the kids and all. He's a house husband and all that stuff. So he was willing to accept that, but she said no. We either we keep our names and all that stuff. She keeps hers, of course, for business reasons. And I feel it's like, again, in this day and age, a lot of people, I think we're holding on to these old archaic,
Oh my God, why has it got to be archaic?
because they are. They're
It's
dated.
not. Your parents have the same thing. Your parents.
Dated. They're archaic because they're dated.
Oh my God! So you're saying the traditional way of doing things is outdated?
Okay, there's one thing to keep a tradition is like, hey, an old family heirloom or a folk song, or like some thing you get passed down from your.
You're saying that's archaic, though.
That's one thing.
But no, you can't separate them. You're saying that's archaic, though.
It is archaic because, again, hear me out.
Okay.
What I'm saying is like something like this that has been, again, throughout time, somehow became something a fixture. If you go before this, it's like, will you marry me? I doubt that the fact like, around BC era, it's like, they had a proposal and bending knee and, giving each other, some wheat, ring that they created out of nowhere.
Lock of hair.
Yeah, lock of hair or stuff like. No, they probably never did that. It got to the point where it started becoming this traditional thing, especially around very civilized European times, where they start doing this, especially during the English eras, the kings and queens and stuff. It became archaic.
Your mic died, I think.
Huh?
I think your mic died.
Oh,
hold
on.
on. Okay.
But then,
there we go.
I think now we're getting to a point where more women are more confident, more men are more accepting to the fact that something like this it's like there's no problem with flipping the script. I just feel it's like it's just something. One, it's festive. It's, as you saw the video we saw, it's festive. Everyone sees it. Everyone's enjoying it. It's fun. Mind you, you can view it as
carve a pumpkin.
As you may view
carve
it
a pumpkin.
Yes.
Decorate the tree.
Yes.
That's archaic. That's archaic.
Again.
That's archaic, and it needs to go. We need to change the way we do shit.
True.
Look, Karan
Again,
said, is it
you gotta be
archaic or
different.
is it tried and true?
It's something different. You can't keep doing the same exact thing over and over again.
Why not?
Yeah,
It's some things
something wrong with
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
some things should remain. Some things should. There's culture, there is tradition, there's some things that just should remain the same as you give remembrance and you give homage to those who did it, or I think some shit should remain. Everything shouldn't be wiped.
Should we always have a male United States president?
Before we had a woman? I don't know. I never bought into that. Because that, to me, that is not tradition for me. That is tradition for our country. I think in culture, your grandmama, your granddaddy, your auntie them, your cousins them, they did that. And you know what? Most people that probably name are not even here anymore. So what is wrong with hanging on to those things? Like people pass on dresses and pass on shit.
That's
like
fine.
What's wrong with some of those things remaining?
Again,
to me, when you speak, I feel like you want to flip. You want to do a whole 180 and just erase everything that was.
I didn't say erase.
No.
But you said it was archaic. Certain things, so
when you speak about certain things, you tend to want to what's the name of it? Etch a sketch everything. Like fuck it. Like it has no beginning. Yeah, it has no beginning and it has no
There are times, let's say this. There are times where you feels like how long are you going to continue on with the same thing that feels like it will never end? or better yet, will never change.
Certain things.
Certain things should never change. It should always remain the same. Like, yo, what Tavio said, he would be like, "There's no more jumping the broom. It's skipping rope now." That would be the new tradition. Let's jump some fucking rope to celebrate. No, there's certain shit in that thing that should not change.
Even though my parents, I don't think they even jump the broom. So I mean, to me, that's like new to me.
They break glass. They do whatever.
Yeah, I know the Jewish traditions and all that.
Yeah.
That's their tradition. Or
So, white man, I got a question for you.
Hold on.
You
give me the cross side. I even feel like that. It's just like, okay, that's out of the blue. And I feel like why don't we just
bar mitzvahs and
all that stuff.
quinceañeras and all that shit should be.
It's like to me personally, it's like, look, it's just a big party for everybody else. You pretty much lose the aspect of what really should be focusing on.
So then fuck a wedding. Fuck a wedding then. That's traditional.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
You heard it.
You should go to the harbor and crack crabs.
About eloping. So his likes what a lot of
people
do.
No, and fuck that. You should go to the harbor and crack crabs.
Yeah.
Have a minister sit in front of you while you eating some crabs and some scripts and be like, let's just get married. I do. Where it is. I'm going
to tell you what your way of thinking has caused. I don't know if y'all know this.
Has it caused
No, it has caused something. Your way of thinking has caused something. There is if you look it up, you can look it up now if you want to. There is a two sisters that caught backlash because a funeral with a mama in a casket, these chicks go there and record and sing Rick and Morty at the lady funeral and put it on TikTok as a TikTok challenge.
Yeah, right. Get the fuck out of here.
That
Tone, look it up, white man. Tzatziki sauce. Look it up. With the two girls.
You gotta be kidding, yo. You gotta be kidding.
Rick and Morty, you know Rick and Morty song is. That is the what's his name? Soldier Boy song. And they was like, we're gonna sing Rick and Morty until she comes back or from the dead or something. Like, and it's on TikTok. So to me,
somebody find that shit and send it to me. I'm on TikTok myself. Find that shit, send it to me. I gotta see this shit.
It's the pink, the background is pink, girls, and they got backlash for this shit.
So can I ask, I'm a white man, I got a question for you. And so your parents, your father, did your mother propose to your father, or did your father propose to your mother?
My dad thinks he proposes to my mom.
Okay, but that was a traditional way. So is that archaic? Because your parents did it, it was archaic? I'm trying to get a better understanding of it.
The mindset then is completely different than a 21st century mindset.
Your dad knew you, right? Of course, he knew you. He raised you. I'm sure you probably got along well. Would your father have been opposed to a woman asking you to marry him? Asking you to marry her?
Okay.
Would your father have been opposed to that? You his whole son now.
Honestly, he would highly question it. I when he say opposed, he'll highly question it.
Would he participate? And after him questioning,
I think in the end, he will be happy for it.
Okay. Because whatever.
Because mine is like, hey, my son's getting married. I mean, that's the thing that the festive thing in the end is you get
But the old school way would be like this. My son is getting married. Did you know that his girlfriend proposed to him? Older guys would be like, if that was my dad would be like, yo, I'm happy you get married. Why you let this female propose to you? What the fuck? I did something wrong? You know what I mean? Like, dude, that's wrong. My dad's an asshole. You gotta understand. I get it
my daddy would look.
I get it though.
My daddy would say, what the fuck? Clyde N. Grant Sr. If I ever
there's a woman in a pink dress.
No, their background is pink. They're in black. The two sisters are in black. They beside the casket. And just type in sister. They might have deleted it by now. Type in the two sisters that sang Ricky Morty at the funeral. So I'm back to my declaration. Clyde N. Grant.
Oh, yo, come on. Now you saying let niggas carry babies. You got a motherfucker out there now that's trying to make that shit look good. Don't get me started about the dude in the purple dress.
That's what I said.
You know
That's
Randy Watson. That's what his name should be now. Randy Watson.
Yes, from the What's Going Down episode. That's my mama. Tone, that's what will be next. Because if I ask you to marry me, you will wear this dress. And your last name will be Grant. And that's what
I
it
mean,
was.
at the end of the day, I think that's if a female is promoting, and I get it. I saw Letitia make a comment saying people hyphenate names, and there's a multitude of reasons why females or females hyphenate their names. Some of them is a work thing. There's other things, reasons why they hyphenate their names. I get that. I understand that part. But what we're talking about here is if a woman proposes to a man, the man is going to take her name, and you know what I mean, and that's that. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be the one that's getting walked down the aisle. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be one that be having a bridal shower and all this shit. You're gonna have bridesmaids and everything. Like nigga, you know what I mean? It's gonna be completely reversed.
And why not? It's festive. It's fun.
You couldn't have me at a wedding like that and the shit was backwards. Cause I'm gonna get kicked out. What the fuck? What the kind of shit is this?
I can see you in there.
In the church of the Lord, y'all niggas is wrong. This is wrong, nigga. I get kicked out. I get kicked out. I couldn't be.
What if you were a part of that? Like you, somebody. What if somebody?
I'd come up with a reason. I would come up with a reason not to be a part of that.
No, you don't know. Only thing you know is there is a proposal going down, and you get there and Sierra's on her knees asking DJ.
I'm gonna look at DJ. I was looking at my boy. D, what the fuck? Who did you even answer that question? Make up an excuse. You got boo-boo or something, my G. Don't you answer that question.
He stick his whole hand out like,
no. Y'all walking all up in between that shit, breaking that shit up like a nigga stomping on the Legos. Get the fuck out of here. Knocking that shit. I'm knocking that shit down like motherfucking King Kong and fucking Godzilla was knocking buildings down. Get that shit out of here.
I'm so sorry. That's some zesty shit for a man. That's zesty. That's just zesty. It's very zesty to me. It's just keep the zest down for me. Okay, Letitia had a point that she was making way back when, and I really wanted to read it. And she was saying she's not begging nobody. Oh, I'm not pushing no one to be with me or relationship or marriage. He will know I want it, but he needs to make it known me and we in a relationship and ask for my hand. Letitia Barnes said, and I couldn't agree with you more. I think there's a flex. I'm gonna say it for the 15th time. Yeah. There's a flattering flex when a man decides that. I think that when a woman does it, it is a certain amount of ultimatum, a certain amount of push and nag involved. Like I think in the man, I won't say real man because I don't want to hear that. Okay. But in a different type of man's mind, there's a nag or it's just like I don't want to say trap because that's strong, but there's a pushing, there's a pushing. And I think that it's a desperation tactic because everything you did didn't work. You baking cookies. This nigga is tearing your asshole out. He is doing whatever he's doing. Y'all done invited someone else in the bed. All the shit that the man like that you're doing because you want to be looked upon as his wife and you want to do the things that are favorable of your relationship, and he still ain't asked you.
Yeah.
So again, if you want to keep this quote unquote traditional,
yes.
If you want to keep tradition,
okay,
then let's do you have problem with the fact that they're living together? Are you having problems with the fact that they maybe have a child before they even got married?
Oh yeah, because I'm her, and it bugged me my whole life.
Okay.
My mother, I was not raised that way. I was not, and honestly, with my daughter. She'll call Brittany Grant. If you get a chance, call in here and she could tell you I had the biggest issue. Yes, because
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say for me, that's a hard one because that in some regards, traditionally you should be married before you have kids. But the problem is we're so promiscuous and everybody's fucking everybody. People are just coming up pregnant. You know what I mean? And then that part has lost its luster 40 years ago. Niggas been baby mamas since way back. So that part of it has changed. But the marriage, the marriage should always remain intact. I agree.
Sweetie said, white man, that's totally different.
Let me
Sweetie said that's totally different.
You're why is that totally different than having a woman going on bended knee?
Because nobody is waiting to have sex before they get married. Nobody is waiting. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm dating this chick and I'm going to wait, you know what I mean? 3 years? You know what I mean? 4 years to get some? Nigga, what?
Again,
depends on how bad you want it. A week.
That's based off of based off of how those couples are having the conversation. And it's just like, look, respect the fact of certain boundaries and all that stuff. I know I had read a conversation about Megan Good, and happy 40th. Welcome to the club. She mentioned the fact that her and her husband did not have sex until they got married. And they were
he was a pastor.
She had sex though.
Not having sex
with him. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
But once those two,
he's a pastor.
I'm not saying that it's not that people are not doing.
No, I'm just saying that it probably was. There probably was introduced, and it's a good idea to her because that's his faith. I love him, and if this is what he wants to do for us to be together, I'm probably going to do it.
Let's say if you toss out the pastor part. If it was just a regular dude,
you can't toss it out.
So go ahead, white man. Go ahead.
This is the thing. You figured it's like, since he's a pastor, yeah, he has to have these crazy moral whatever.
Not crazy.
I call it
crazy. Okay. But you chose them. You chose them as an example. So let's move on to your neighbor.
Now, here's the thing. Let's give a different example.
Yeah.
If a guy, normal guy, not a pastor, normal guy says, it's like, hey, can we wait until, or better yet, if she say, hey, I want to wait until we get married, and he accepts that,
why not?
Again, that's what I'm saying. Is there any difference?
It's on him. I'm not knocking people that do that. I'm not saying that there aren't people out here that don't do that. That will wait. That's fine for them. But the majority, that's probably like maybe 1-2% of the world that's gonna wait. The rest of the world, they fucking hard.
In the gate, are we talking about never fuck and I want to marry you and I never did it, or I'm just not effing you? I've done it before. It's just you. So that conversation can't even, bruh.
My conversation is based off of you guys dealing with this traditional
thing,
and especially if not having sex, not living together before marriage. Try to make courting for God knows how long until the bended knee where the guy does it. That type of tradition. But you have no problem with knocking boots before, just say, I'm just testing the waters before, I fully dive in and all that stuff. That type of aspect where, again, things change.
You comparing,
test drive a car before you buy it?
Throughout the years.
You comparing coffee and Tito's, like, bro.
Hold on, Kiki. But don't you test drive a car before you buy it? To see how it fits and how it drives? If you're gonna enjoying driving this car every day?
I think he's comparing Tito's and coffee. I think you're comparing vodka and coffee. And you're reaching. You're reaching. Because let me ask you a question.
Irish coffee. That's what I'm making.
Let me ask you a question. In your brain, in your mind, you're not married, correct?
Nope.
What is your dream wedding?
My dream wedding?
Yes. If what does your wedding look like? Take your time, Pastor.
My dream wedding, let's see, mind you, it will probably be either
at Hooters.
No.
Okay.
Because respecting my mom, it will be at a church. So,
tradition?
Not tradition, respecting my mom.
Okay.
That's tradition, though. That's traditional to respect your mom.
You didn't hear what I say, respecting my mom.
We heard you.
But at the same time, I wouldn't mind doing it outside, something more open. Because I'm not fully religious.
Okay. Is there a preacher or a pastor or someone there?
Or
officiant there?
Depending on my future wife's religion aspect.
Are there vows and rings?
Of course, there will be rings. Vows, maybe not, just whatever passes.
So what you describe? Oh, your attire. What does your attire look like?
Very fly.
You say all black?
He said very fly. Shucks and pearls. We talking about.
Okay, so explain what very fly is.
Like what? Culottes and what are we talking about?
It'll be a nice, a nice suit or
okay, shut the fuck up then, because you just described traditional shit.
No,
shut the fuck up.
Again, based off of the conversation you have with the person that you're with and how you want it, that's where things can change. So mind you, it could be either like I said, there's my dream wedding or what my wife was, because normally traditionally, based off of what you're saying, women handles all that stuff, and the guy would just go watch football for the next 8 months.
they're involved.
No, you claim they do.
They're involved.
Are they?
Because it's a TikTok
So
flex.
were you
It's
ever
a flex.
involved in your wedding?
Huh?
Were you
Was I involved in my wedding? Yes, because there was certain shit that I had to help plan.
Exactly.
We had to work together. I couldn't just be like, yo, we talked about it. Okay, we're going to do this. And then, okay, it's all on you. I'm going to holler at you. Go over here. There were certain things I got to do. You know what I mean? I had to get my groomsmen ready. I had to make sure my man's was right, what we was going to do. You know what I mean? We both had to agree on the music that we wanted at the ceremony. We both agreed what kind of cake we wanted. All of that shit we did together. It wasn't a one-sided thing. We both did it together. You know what I mean? That was me. But I'm not saying other people haven't. I don't know. But I know me. I guess mine was more the traditional way. Even though that I did a destination wedding. You know what I mean? I took my ass to Vegas. You know what I mean?
Well,
but it was still done traditional.
I feel like people with Uber dollars, like NBA players, I think they pretty much, or NFL or those professional persons with the so many zeros, I can't even get across Greenbelt Road behind their account, probably tell them their wives, oh, do what you want. You know what I'm saying? But
I agree with that.
I think most of the time the men are involved because they it's a flex for the man too. It is
That's our day as well as her day. That's our day as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're being celebrated just like she is. So, you know what I mean? And it's not, and at that point, we're being celebrated together, not as individuals. We're being celebrated together. So it's about both of us. Now, I agree with Kiki. The people that got money longer than Train Smoke, most of them dudes are too busy. You know what I mean? They got a career going on and they're too busy. Honey, plan whatever you want. I'm down with whatever. You know what I mean? Sky's the limit. And that's when you get these outrageous fucking weddings, and then a year or two later, it's over. Nigga, you just wasted a whole bunch of money for nothing. You know?
I never put in my 2 cents.
Yeah. You gave your million, but not your 2 cents.
Exactly.
But I think for me, at the end of all of this, nah, I'm not coming to your job, Playboy. I'm not gonna do that. That's just me. And I'm not so traditional because, white man, I told you on several occasions throughout the time that you and our relationship here, I have agreed with you on certain things need to go. That I don't think that everything that ever was should be, but a certain things need to go. However, in that aspect, I'm gonna stand firm. I am not.
Okay, keep in mind, here's what I said about this whole scenario.
Okay.
I literally said there's nothing wrong of flipping the script. Nothing. I'm not like you've been saying that I feel like I'm taking that, shaking it up and redesigning everything. No, I'm saying it's like there is no harm to me of flipping the script. If you have something issue with it, then I feel it's like, okay, either A, you're not prepared to handle how this future world is going to be. Because I believe this is like, again, this
What took you so long?
Huh?
What took you so long to get there? Come on. Come on.
Because I like how the hour and a half goes by, especially when it comes to football.
I've been waiting for you to say that.
Because I feel like you need to realize the fact that 21st century is changed. Is as you can tell the way the world is now. Think about in the next 20 years. A lot more things are going to be more open.
I'm afraid.
You're afraid.
I'm afraid.
You're
I'm afraid that, and I'm going to explain to you why. I think there are a lot of people in your position that want hold on, before I say that, I'm gonna quote you. You said that tradition needs to go. You said that. So that's why I said what I said behind that. So you can clean it up now and say certain things, and I'll allow it. I'll allow it. But I think that it is very scary when the basis of and the origin of certain things will disappear. It is very scary. And then you have to look up, and all of a sudden, and I don't want to get into this conversation, but that whole Nas X and the dress thing, fuck that shit.
I don't want to get into that, but man, that's some
that shit. If that is the future,
I'm ready to go.
Keep in mind, mind you, you got 5 minutes of it.
He's a troll. Nas X is a troll. He's a fucking troll, and that's what we're doing. And we keep feeding into his fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? And every time he feels like his little fame is starting to fizzle out, he does some other fucking gay ass shit. And here we go back to talking about him again. Fuck him.
Okay, so
Fuck
let's
out of
see
here.
further to explain all this.
Okay.
Quickly, it's like, I when it comes to certain traditions, and I express there are archaic traditions, and to the point where it's like it's not just beneficial to everyone. That's where those type of traditional aspects need to go away. I mean, it feels like it doesn't fit here. It doesn't fit in this modern era. It shouldn't now. It's like even you kind of wonder. It's like why is it even ever existed?
But it
But
can.
it there, like I said,
It takes work,
there's
but it
some
can.
traditional stuff
Okay.
that feel like what, I can leave that alone. I can that's not harming me. That's not harming the world. I can leave that alone. But then there's traditions where you got to feel like what, let's shake it up a little bit. Let's put a little spin on it.
So-
Again, mind you, make it more fun, make it more interesting and entertaining, and more festive.
So what is a tradition, white man, that you would say, let's not mess with that, let's leave that alone?
For
What is
example,
a tradition that you would say that, look, that's fine, let's not mess with that, let's leave that alone?
good question.
Good question. Because there's a few things. I think in this realm of weddings and all that stuff, I have no problem. I feel like of asking permission of my future bride's parents to ask. It's like, is it okay? That I feel is like, what? That's respect. It's respect. It's showing respect. And I feel like for me personally, I try to not only give respect, and I would like to receive it back. And something like that is showing proper respect to her family. That's like, hey, I'm happy enough to want to marry your daughter, and say the fact I will do my ultimate best from here on out to be a full-on provider, whatever that list of things I need to be.
Okay.
Your husband.
Anything else?
Yeah. So that's one thing. That's just one, and I can think of the top of my head.
So would be Christmas or Thanksgiving. Would you keep those the same, or would you shake those up? Be like, yo, instead of having turkey, fuck it, let's have some duck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. My dad perfect example for Thanksgiving. My dad's not a full-on turkey guy, so we've had duck, we've had goose, we had some other type of bird. Because again,
Ever Domino's though. Ever Domino's.
Nah, name fuck that. That's the nastiest shit ever.
That's a whole other story.
Okay.
But again, if you get it before like 5 o'clock, then yeah. But again, the main aspect of Thanksgiving, you can keep in mind, Thanksgiving didn't really have turkey; they had lobster and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and more seafood aspect, because again, before the Pilgrims did some
history.
But the thing is it's about family, about being together, family and friends, enjoying camaraderie and all that stuff. That's the main aspect of Thanksgiving. That is not going to change. What's on the dinner table and what's on the menu, that can change whatever you want.
Okay.
Taking the Steelers for here on out, yes. You'll never have Thanksgiving dinner together.
Oh my God. So look, would you be open to if your wife were to get down on one knee and ask you to marry her, and she had a salmon salad that she wanted on your finger and not a ring? That's shaking shit up. A fucking lifesaver. That's shaking shit up. Is that cool?
Again, it's fun, it's festive.
It's fun, it's festive.
Yes. Yeah.
A ring
fun.
pop.
But again, keep in mind, I bet you, and especially after that video, things went back to quote unquote tradition. When he did.
I think they remain.
Next.
You know what? And she gonna beat him at night too. Watch. If her dinner ain't ready, she gonna beat his ass too. She gonna whooping his ass. You know what I mean? Like a little chick he is. But look, Letitia Knott comes on and says, "I wear white after Labor Day."
Me too.
I can change and be cool with. Okay, but dudes in a dress is some bullshit.
Bullshit. I wear makeup at night. Look.
Why not?
Because I work at night.
I'm just saying, I agree with you. Some traditions, maybe some little can be a little outdated and can change. But I think the marriage thing, was like, yo, or is a gay couple.
We got a rap, Tone.
Oh shit, never mind. Well, I'll leave that because Yo, it's been another fine ass show.
It has. I want to say
I
something.
want to thank everybody for all the birthday love. Yes, I had an amazing time. I wasn't on Facebook at all this weekend like that. I did not give Facebook no energy, but I gave the real life, real world energy. It was dope. I did a lot of push-ups too. And fuck Rick James. I hate you. You messed up my sneakers, damn it. Take my face.
We look for the pictures. Everybody want to go to Block Burners Bike Night and Laurel at Crafty Crab tonight. See y'all later. I'm Kiki.
I'm Joe.
Tzatziki sauce. We out here.
Peace, y'all.